Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of Tips, Tricks, and Licks. In this series, we're going to talk about guitar techniques and musical concepts as they relate to guitar. And it's going to be similar to the Moving Forward series, but we don't need a song or a jam to get us started in this series. We're just going to dive into a particular concept and talk about it. And in this first episode, I'm going to talk about speed. See, I'm wearing my Yngwie shirt. And before we get into that, just a disclaimer: speed does not equal good. I feel like we should all know that by now, but just in case anybody wanted to challenge the validity of speed on the instrument, there is the disclaimer. So let's get started. In this episode, there's 5 tips for playing faster. Okay, 5. You could call them shortcuts, but there are things that I've developed over the years or noticed that allow me to play a little quicker without having to get the synchronization between the hands down pat, and like if you were picking every note. So the first concept I'm going to dive into, number 1, is double picking, where you pick a note more than once in conjunction with some hammer-ons and pull-offs, and you end up getting more notes with less fretting hand movement. So I'm going to start off with the wide interval example because it sounds pretty cool when doing that. Here I'm going to go from E, G to B on the high E string, which would be the 12th, 15th, and 19th fret, but I'm going to pick the E twice and then hammer on. And then I'm going to do the same thing from the B, pull off to the G, pull off to the E. I'm picking the B twice. So put those together and you have right? It sounds pretty cool when you get it rolling. And of course you can do that across the strings. Whoop. So, and it doesn't have to be 3 notes. It can be 2, and it can be 4. Here it is with 2 notes, a string. Right? You can do that staying on the same string. Whatever you choose. You can stay on a single string and stay diatonic to a particular key you're playing in. If I'm on the B string here, and I'm staying in E minor. Whoop. Right? So double picking, a lot of opportunity to play cool stuff in there. And it sounds great, like I mentioned, with wide interval stuff. So let's move on to number 2, and that would be hybrid picking. And this also eliminates the need for fretting and picking hand synchronization, at least to the degree that is required when you're picking every note. So let's just start with this example on A minor, in A minor, 8th fret, B string. You have a G, I'm going to hammer on to A. And with my middle finger, I'm going to pluck this high D note. Okay, then I'm going to pull off from the A to the G, going back to the 2nd string. And that's what hybrid picking is. It's using the pick and one or some of your other fingers on your picking hand. So in this example, we got G, A, and D. Now we can toss other notes in there and get some variety. Now maybe I want to go down to the C. Also add this E flat in. Yeah, do it the lower octave. I use that a lot when I'm playing in the pentatonic or blues box, and I'm bouncing off of other intervals, whether it be the flat 5 or the major 3rd or the major 6, whatever have you. And you could do this just falling down the pentatonic shape with your fourths. Right? I guess in the second and third strings, this would be a D to a G. Right, that's still a fourth. Got it. That's a third. C to E. Pretty cool sound there. So hybrid picking offers a lot of flexibility and possibility in your playing, especially when you're trying to get speed going. And let's jump to topic number 3, which would be symmetrical shapes, a la Eddie. You know, it doesn't have to be in a key or stay diatonic. If it sounds good, use your ears. And one of my favorites is this, adding these 9, major 6, and flat 5 intervals to the pentatonic shape, right? So if we had A minor, and we add this 9 here, major 6 here, and flat 5 here, you get a symmetrical shape on the top 3 strings with the 5th, 7th, and 8th frets on the E, B, and the G. You can get all sorts of stuff with that because you're using the same fingers. You know, and add in that hybrid concept with the symmetrical thing, you have even more possibilities. So, like I said, I mentioned Eddie before, and I think I've given examples of that symmetrical playing from I'm the One. It's in Jump. It's in a whole bunch of his solos. Where he's just going up the fretboard. And Hot for Teacher. Using the same frets on every string. Another example would be the solo from Cowboys from Hell. Dimebag Darrell does it up in an ascending format, all on the 11th, 12th, and 15th frets. He's picking the first 3 notes and then repeating those same 3 notes with hammer-ons. But anyway, staying symmetrical. Let's go to tip number 4, which would be open strings. If you're playing an open string, you don't have to fret it, so less work for the left hand. And guitar, the key of E, the key of A, the key of D, the key of G are all very friendly because you have open strings at your disposal in each of those keys. If we're in E, you basically have every string. Right? G. See, I'm combining some of these concepts, the hybrid picking there. This is something that you might hear in a Satch song, you know. combine the open string thing with the hybrid technique, maybe bouncing off the open high E string, for example. If I'm in E minor, I'm hammering on 2 notes on the B string, plucking the open E with the middle finger there. You can do that from any string. It doesn't have to be the B string. So, lots of stuff there at your disposal. And tip number 5. This one has to do with pick slanting. And I'm going to talk about downward pick slanting. Now, if you're not familiar with this and you're interested, go check out Troy Grady's channel. He's probably got the best channel on YouTube for this topic. He covers it in depth from every angle, and one can learn a lot. So check it out, Troy Grady. But what I'm going to discuss and what makes it easier for me to play quicker is when there is an even number of notes on any given string. Allows you to keep your pick slanted in one direction. In this case, a downward pick slant, where the pick is facing down. See, it's got that downward slant. And what that allows you to do, take that pentatonic pattern that Zakk Wylde is so good at and made so recognizable as a part of his sound. 2 notes on a string, even number, correct? So we're going to start with the down, up, and when I finish with that upstroke, see, I'm on the outside of the string, which allows me to shift to the next lowest string, which is the B string in this case, and do the same thing. And because there's an even number of notes, I'll always end up outside of the string. If there's an odd number, you will have to change the direction of your pick slant and to cross over. So now the next stroke would be an up if I'm going to the next string. And to achieve that, I'd have to switch to an upward pick slant. So, eliminating that change in pick slant direction eliminates work. So, right? I don't have to change. I can stay on the outside and I can keep it all downward pick slanting. And it doesn't have to be 2 notes, as long as it's an even number of notes. It could be 6 notes. What if I doubled up on an ascending run here? Alright, staying in E minor. Now I'm picking every note, but it's a lot easier with the same pick slant direction, in this case down. Right? Hope that makes sense. You can do that descending as well. If I was doing a pattern of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can start with the down on every string and stay with my downward pick slant. Hope that makes sense. Okay, that does it for this first episode of Tips, Tricks, and Licks. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you were able to get something out of it. I certainly enjoyed being here with you guys. Until next time, see you then.